What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been quite some time. I've just been extremely busy with the semester and in school, and so that's kind of why there's been a lack of videos. But I have been shooting a lot, but just haven't had the time to film and get the content out to put on for YouTube. But so with that, I think it's been I guess kind of a time thinking about what I could do for videos. And so with the less time I have, I was thinking I can do more of a series of like a kind of video cast of why I love photography. And so looking at different subgenres within photography and the photos that I've taken, I kind of want to give talk about like my 5 favorite photos I've taken within each category and talk about their story too, or the reasoning of being in my top 5 is because of the story behind the picture. And so that's kind of what I'm going to do today with the portraits I've done. And yeah, that's kind of what it is. So I guess this would be episode 1 of why I love photography, I guess. And so the first one I want to talk about, the first photo I want to talk about, I titled this photo Joy. And this is when I was in Austin. I met up with a friend of mine to just go near Riverside, if you're familiar, to go do some like street photography. And the first place we were at was at this apartment where they were, I guess, expanding. They had construction going on. And so I personally couldn't find any shots to get when I was there. And so on my way out, I ran into this man who was coming out of his apartment. And I had never at this time asked a stranger for a portrait since I've been doing photography at that time. And so I didn't know like what to expect. And so I asked him, and he, didn't say a word. He just pulled down his mask, kind of nodded his head, and I put him in the light. And what you saw in that picture is kind of what I saw too. That was just all he did. He didn't really say one word that whole interaction, but like his grin itself just spoke volumes to his essence and his character. Like I really feel joy is like his portion, and like he embodies that just from looking at this picture. So to me, this picture is one of my favorites I've ever taken, portrait or just in general. And so the next one, so this is here in Abilene. During all the snowstorms that are happening in Texas, we're getting some snow very frequently. And so me and my friend, again, the same one I was with in Austin, went out to go take some pictures during the day to get some snow. And as we're coming back to the car, we run into this woman who's sitting outside in the coffee shop, which is kind of weird at the time because it's cold and it's snowing, everything is wet. And so she was just chilling outside with her treat and in this bear fur jacket. And so it was a first for everything, meeting a woman with a bear fur jacket, but it was a good conversation. I mean, it was just a way to wrap up that whole photo session. So that's just up there for that. I really love the style. It's kind of a very vintage looking New York type outfit in my opinion. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's why I really like that photo. The next one, it's my brethren that I met downtown. So I feel if you do street photography, you will have the most interesting experiences, like taking pictures or just making the decision to go out and take pictures. And so I was taking pictures during this day, and was had an interest in this like building called the Wooten. It's like pretty nice architecture. I kind of put a picture of it right here. But yeah, I was trying to take pictures of that, and this postman had came in on his truck, just delivering pictures or packages, excuse me. And he saw me taking pictures and asked like what I do, with my camera or just with photography in general. And it turns out his son was doing the same thing. And so he kind of asked me if I wanted to take his portrait, and I did, shout out to him. I felt like this is like a timeless piece I can have in my collection, like right when COVID hit, the delivery USPS man doing his thing still on the grind. Not all heroes wear capes, is what I have to say about this picture. And I put some more of him too, because he's just a character, kind of has some fun. And then from after that day as well, I kept running into him every time I decide to do street photos in Abilene or in downtown Abilene. So crazy how that works. The next one, oh yes. So when I was in Austin, after I took that first portrait of the man of Joy, I just fell in love with doing like street portraits. I really love doing street photography, but street portraits is kind of like what was inspired in me from that first photo. And so when I was in Austin, I had met a lot of people within a couple of days, and had compiled like a pretty good collection of portraits to put in my zine. And so this is one of those photos. It's my man right here with the gold grills. I was just walking out of a gas station, and I see him walking across the street, and he kind of see me and my boy at the time, just chilling. And he's just like, "What's going on, fellas?" Had a 40 in his hand and everything. This man was just going about his business. But he just kind of wanted a photo op. I told him to flash that grill, and the rest is history. And so that's what we got right here. And so I think from my last photo that I want to talk about, again, I was just out doing street photography. And I think I want to say this. I feel like every time I go out to take street photos, I don't really seek the moments I don't really like scout out people for these portraits. It kind of just like happens. And so like with this story, in this last picture, this man, his name's Chris, from what I found out during that interaction. And I was just in a parking garage trying to capture some like light and shadow, and just because it kind of looked dramatic or whatever aesthetic like. And so he thought he was in the way, and he was like asking me to move, and I told him like, no, he can just sit there. And so just ended up talking with him. And the funniest thing about Chris is that he's probably the most knowledgeable guy about pyramids, and that was probably 80% of the conversation that him and I had. And then of course I just asked him for that portrait, I guess as a memento of that time. And so that's just a couple of my favorite stories, my favorite portraits in general too that I've taken. I think portraits and photography is just a great way to capture someone's essence, someone's character, the embodiment of who they are. And so I think, as I said in a couple of videos back, I think photography is a great way to personify people in the light that they are truly meant to be in. And so I feel like in all these photos, I don't portray these people in a light or of a way that they're not. And I feel like everybody deserves to be captured in truth. And so I think that's why I'm really attracted to doing portrait photography, street portraits, having interactions with new people. As a result, I just got these pictures to kind of keep to talk about for a story, one way or another. And so and so I think I'm going to conclude right here with the video. Thank you all for tuning in. Comment below what you thought about this video and about this series. If there's anything else you want to see within my photography, let me know. But thank you for tuning in. Next one coming soon, hopefully. But until then, like, subscribe, comment below your favorite photo as well. And I'll see you on the next one. Nos vemos. Ciao.